Today on MTG Unpacked, we're getting stuck into the Aetherdrift Commander deck, Eternal Might. So this is a white, blue, black deck, also known as the Esper color combo. And the commander here, we have Temet, Nactamun's Will. So we get a Collect Booster Sample Pack, 100 card deck, 10 new cards, deck box, 10 double-sided token strategy, insert, and reference card. Alright, so let's get into this. So they've got a little pool thing on the side. More mummy, more problems. Oh, the puns are just hilarious. So let's get into it. So here is what we call a deck box. So this, yeah, you can put unsleeved cards in here, but yeah, not terribly useful. The design is pretty cool though. And then we have a flyer here, Eternal Might Commander deck. Ooh, so you get a huge poster. That's cool. You can read about that. And then on the other side, we have magic colors, what they typically stand for, playing the deck, and some commander rules in case you're new to the format. And digging in here, here's our collector booster sample pack. We'll get to that in a second. And then we have some punch outs. Just some counters. Alright, so we'll set that aside. Anything else in here actually? It seems like that is it. Okay. And here is the deck itself. But before we do that, we will get into the collector booster sample pack. So these decks going for about 65 bucks on TCG Player. I would not recommend paying that price just because the retail price MSRP is $44.99. So here we have a little ad card. Then we have Collagen Triumph Caster. So nice borderless art on that one. And Marshall's Path Cruiser. So you'll get something different from yours. They're usually not that exciting. So let's get into the deck here. We will be getting stuck into the other one as well this weekend. So stay tuned for that. That's the Timur Energy deck. Alright. So ripping into it. Just 2 decks this time around. So here is the commander. We have Temet, Nactamun's Will, legendary creature zombie wizard. It's a mythic 4/4 for 2 white, blue and black. Has vigilance and menace. Whenever you attack, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you draw a card, zombies you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Each time he glimpsed oblivion, he learned another lesson. Alright, so awesome. And you might notice the playmat, bit of a resemblance there. And we have another mythic. So the second commander here, Hashaton, Scarab's Fist, legendary creature, zombie wizard, 1/3 for white and black. Whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 2 and a blue. If you do, create a tap token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. I served the scarab in an age long past, in another form, under another name. No matter their visage, I serve. Okay, so we have 2 foils there. Let's grab the next chunk of the deck. Then we have On Wings of Gold, enchantment for 3 and white. Creatures you control that are zombies and or tokens get +1/+1 and have flying. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 1/1 white zombie creature token. Then we have Priest of the Crossing creature, Zombie Bird Cleric, 3/3 for 3 and white with flying. At the beginning of each end step, put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of creatures that died under your control this turn. Then we have Renewed Solidarity. This is a nice one. Enchantment for 2 and white. As this enchantment enters, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+0 at the beginning of your end step. For each token you control of the chosen type that entered this turn, create a token that's a copy of it. Then we have a Wizened Mentor creature, Zombie Cleric, 2/2 for 1 and white. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a permanent that isn't a mana ability, you create a 1/1 white zombie creature token This ability triggers only once each turn. And Prophet of the Scarab creature zombie wizard 3/4 for 4 in the blue. Vigilance. When this creature enters, draw cards equal to the number of zombies you control or the number of zombie cards in your graveyard, whichever is greater. So that could lead to some crazy card draw. Then we have a Ret 2 Mystic creature zombie bird wizard 2/1 for 1 in the blue with flying. Each creature card in your hand has cycling 1 in the blue. So that means you pay that cost. Discard the card, you get to draw a card. Then we have a Lost Monarch of Ifni, a creature zombie noble, 4/4 for 3 in the black, has a flipped 3. So whenever this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses 3 life. Other zombies you control have a flipped 3. That's pretty crazy. At the beginning of your second main phase, if a player was dealt combat damage by a zombie this turn, mill 3 cards, then you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Then we have a Cursed Dunyard land. Tap 4 colorless for 2 tap. Regenerate target Shade, Skeleton, Spectre, Spirit, Vampire, Wrath, or Zombie. So the next time it will be destroy this turn. Instead, tap it, remove it from combat, and heal all damage on it. So I'm guessing we'll probably mostly just have zombies in this deck. Then we have Commence the Endgame. Instant for 4 and 2 blue. This spell can't be countered. Draw 2 cards and amass zombies X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So that means put X +1/+1 counters on an army you control. It's also a zombie. If you don't control an army, create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token first. I think that mechanic was in War of the Spark, wasn't it? Maybe also in Hour of Dev and Armageddon. Can't remember. Next we have Crypt Breaker. Creature zombie 1/1 for a single black. For 1 in a black, tap, discard a card. You get to create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Tap 3, untap zombies you control. You get to draw a card and you lose 1 life. Then we have a Mythic Grave Titan creature giant 6/6 for 4 and 2 black. Death Touch. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Grave Crawler. Some cool new artwork on this one. Creature zombie 2/1 for a single black. This creature can't block. You may cast this card from your graveyard as long as you control a zombie. Midnight Reaper, creature zombie knight, 3/2 for 2 in a black. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, this creature deals 1 damage to you and you draw a card. Murderous Rider. So we have Swift End, 1 and 2 black. Instant adventure, destroy target creature or planeswalker. You lose 2 life. Then exile this card. You may cast the creature later from exile. So you typically do that bit first. The second part, you have a creature zombie knight, 2/3 for 1 and 2 black. That is the Murderous Rider portion. Has lifelink. When this creature dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. Then we have a Zombie Master. Creature zombie, 2/3 for 1 and 2 black. Other zombie creatures have Swamp Walk, so they can't be blocked as long as defending player controls a swamp. Other zombies have pay black, regenerate this permanent. Then we have Angel of Sanctions, another mythic creature angel, 3/4 for 3 and 2 white, flying. When this creature enters, you may exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. Also has the Embalm mechanic here for 5 and a white, so you pay that, exile this card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a white zombie angel with no mana cost, Embalm only as a sorcery. Then we have Dusk Till Dawn. So Dusk is a sorcery for 2 and 2 white. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Then we have Dawn, sorcery for 3 and 2 white. Aftermath, cast this spell only from your graveyard, then exile it. Return all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Next, we have a Mythic God Eternal Oketra, legendary creature zombie god, 3/6 for 3 and 2 white, double strike. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 4/4 black zombie warrior creature token with vigilance. When God Eternal Oketra dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, you may put it into its owner's library, 3rd from the top. Then we have a Timeless Dragon, creature dragon, 5/5 for 3 and 2 white with flying and plane cycling 2. So you pay 2, discard this card, search your library for a plains card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle and eternalize for 2 and 2 white, so you pay that cost. Exile this card from your graveyard. You get to create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie dragon with no mana cost, eternalize only as a sorcery. Then we have Champion of Wits, creature Snake Wizard, 2/1 for 2 and blue. When this creature enters, you may draw cards equal to its power. If you do, discard 2 cards. This one has Eternalize for 5 and 2 blue. Next we have a Forgotten Creation, creature Zombie Horror, 3/3 for 3 and a blue. Has Skulk, so this creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard all the cards in your hand. If you do, draw that many cards. Pull from Tomorrow, instant for X and 2 blue. Draw X cards, then discard a card. And Vizier of Many Faces, creature Shapeshifter Cleric, 0/0 for 2 and 2 blue. You may have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except if this creature was embalmed. The token has no mana cost, it's white, and it's a zombie in addition to its other types. So you can embalm for 3 and 2 blue. Archfiend of Ifnir, creature demon, 5/4 for 3 and 2 black with flying. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponents control. You can cycle it for 2. And then we have a Cemetery Reaper, creature zombie, 2/2 for 1 and 2 black. Other zombie creatures you control get +1/+1. And for 2 and a black, tap, exile target creature card from a graveyard. Create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Crowded Crypt artifact for 2 and a black, tap 4 black. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a corpse counter on this artifact. And for 4 and 2 black, tap, sack this artifact. Create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed for each corpse counter on this artifact. So a creature with Decayed can't block. When it attacks, sacrifice it at end of combat. So I guess it just falls apart at that point. Then we have Damn! Sorcery for 2 black, destroy target creature. A creature destroyed this way can't be regenerated and has Overload for 2 and 2 white. You may cast this spell for its Overload costs. If you do, change target and its text to each. Then we have Dread Summon, sorcery for X and 2 black. Each player mills X cards. For each creature card put into a graveyard this way, you create a tap 2/2 black zombie creature token. Dreadhorde Invasion, enchantment for 1 and a black. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass zombies 1. So we learned about amass earlier. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until end of turn. Ooh, I remember this one. Liliana, Death's Majesty. It's a mythic. Legendary Planeswalker Liliana, 5 loyalty for 3 and 2 black. So this one's from Armenket originally. Her +1, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, mill 2 cards. -3, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature is a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Her ultimate, -7, destroy all non-zombie creatures. Awesome. Then we have Never and Return. So Never is a sorcery for 1 and 2 black. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. And Return is a sorcery for 3 and a black. Has Aftermath. Exile target card from a graveyard. Create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Next we have a Plague Belcher, creature zombie beast, 5/4 for 2 and a black. Has Menace. When this creature enters, put 2 -1/-1 counters on target creature you control. Whenever another zombie you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Rothulk, this one's a nice one. Mythic. Creature zombie, 5/5 for 5 and 2 black with Menace. When this creature enters, return up to X target zombie cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of opponents you have. That is nuts in Commander. Then we have an old favorite here, the Scarab God, legendary creature god, 5/5 for 3, blue and black. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses X life and you scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control. And for 2, blue and black, exile target creature card from graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. And when the Scarab God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Then we have Godfurrow's Gift. I remember this was cool in Standard at the time. Artifact for 7. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card. Except it's a 4/4 black zombie. It gains haste until end of turn. Then we have Maskwood Nexus artifact for 4. Creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. For 3, tap. Create a 2/2 blue shapeshift creature token with Changeling. So that means it is every creature type. Then we have a land, Adakar Waste, tap 4 colorless, tap 4 white or blue. This land deals 1 damage to you. Caves of Koilos, tap 4 colorless, or tap for white or black. This deals 1 damage to you. I think they call these the pain lands. Drowned Catacomb. This land enters tapped unless you control an island or a swamp. Tap 4 blue or black. Exotic Orchard. Tap to add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Okay, then we have some more lands here. Fetid Pools, tap 4 blue or black. This land enters tapped. You can cycle it for 2. Glacial Fortress enters tapped unless you control a plains or an island. Tap 4 white or blue. I think that is they call them check lands, don't they? Then we have Irrigated Farmland, tap for white or blue, enters tapped, cycle it for 2. Isolated Chapel enters tapped unless you control a plains or a swamp. Tap for white or black. Prairie Stream, tap for white or blue. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Sunken Hollow, tap for blue or black. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Temple of Deceit enters tapped when this land enters scry 1. Tap for blue or black. And Temple of Silence. This land enters tapped when it enters scry 1. Tap for white or black. Underground River, tap 4 colorless, tap 4 blue or black. This land deals 1 damage to you. And Unholy Grotto, tap 4 colorless or pay black, tap. Put target zombie card from your graveyard on top of your library. Swords to Plowshares instant for a single white. Exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. Corpse Augur, creature zombie wizard 4/2 for 3 and a black. When this creature dies, you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the number of creature cards in target player's graveyard. Corpse Knight, creature zombie knight 2/2 for white and black. Whenever another creature you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life. Then we have an Arcane Signet, artifact for 2. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Soul Ring in pretty much every commander deck these days. Artifact for 1, tap 4, 2 colorless. Command Tower, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Path of Ancestry, another land, enters tapped. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. Binding Mummy, creature zombie 2/2 for 1 and white. Whenever another zombie you control enters, you may tap target artifact or creature. Cast Out enchantment for 3 and a white. Has flash. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Cycle it for a single white. Eternal Skylord, creature zombie wizard 3/3 for 4 and a blue. When this creature enters, amass zombies 2. Zombie tokens you control have flying. That is nuts. Fleshbag Marauder, creature zombie warrior 3/1 for 2 and a black. When this creature enters, each player sacrifices a creature of their choice. Gem Palm Polluter, creature zombie 4/3 for 5 and a black. Has cycling for 2 black. When you cycle this card, you may have target player lose life equal to the number of zombies on the battlefield. Lord of the Accursed, creature zombie 2/3 for 2 and a black. Other zombies you control get +1/+1. And for 1 and a black, tap all zombies gain menace until end of turn. Twisted Abomination, creature zombie mutant 5/3 for 5 and a black. Pay black and regenerate this creature. Also has swamp cycling 2. So you pay 2, discard this card, search your library for a swamp card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Undead Augur, creature zombie wizard 2/2 for 2 black. When this creature or another zombie you control dies, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Next we have Despark, instant for white and black. Exile target permanent with mana value 4 or greater. Gleaming Overseer, creature zombie wizard, 1/4 for 1 blue and black. When this creature enters a mass, zombies 1. Zombie tokens you control have hexproof and menace. And next we have a Lazartep Chancellor, creature zombie wizard, 1/3 for blue and black. Whenever you discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, amass zombies 2. Then we got a Wayward Servant, creature zombie, 2/2 for white and black. Whenever another zombie you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Bontu's Monument, legendary artifact for 3. Black creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast a creature spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Commander Sphere, artifact for 3. Tap to add 1 mana of any colour in your commander's colour identity. You can sack this artifact and draw a card. Then we have a Demir Signet, artifact for 2. Pay 1, tap, add blue and black. Gate to the Afterlife, artifact for 3. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you gain 1 life. Then you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. And if you pay 2, tap, sack this artifact. Search your graveyard, hand, and or library for a card named Godfarrow's Gift and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle. Activate only if there are 6 or more creature cards in your graveyard. And we have an Orzhov Signet, artifact for 2. Pay 1, tap, add white and black. Alright, next we have a Talisman of Dominance, artifact for 2. Tap for colorless or tap for blue or black. This artifact deals 1 damage to you. Talisman of Hierarchy, artifact for 2. Tap for colorless. Tap to add white or black. This artifact deals 1 damage to you. And Arcane Sanctum enters tapped. Tap for white, blue or black. Ash Barrens, tap for colorless, has basic land cycling 1. Desert of the Glorified, land desert enters tap. Tap for black or cycle it for 1 and a black. Desert of the Mindful enters tap. Tap for blue, cycle it for 1 and a blue. Desert of the True enters tap. Tap for white, cycle for 1 and a white. Then we have Evolving Wilds, land, tap, sack this land, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Wars of Basilica enters tap. When this land enters, return a land you control to its owner's hand, tap for white and black. Terramorphic Expanse, land, tap, sack this land, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Then we have some basic lands, so plains. 5 of those, islands, 4 of those, swamps, 5 of those, and then we come to the tokens. So we have a 1/1 zombie. You're going to need tons of those in this deck. Angel of Sanctions, 3/4, token creature zombie angel with flying. When this token enters, you may exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this token leaves the battlefield. Then another zombie and Champion of Wits, 4/4. Zombie Snake Wizard. When this token enters, you may draw cards equal to its power. If you do, discard 2 cards. Another 1/1 zombie and a Timeless Dragon, 4/4 with flying. Zombie Dragon. Another 1/1 zombie and Vizier of Many Faces. Zombie Shapeshifter Cleric, 0/0. You may have this token enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it has no mana cost. It's white, and it's a zombie in addition to its other types. Another 1/1 zombie, then a Shapeshifter, 2/2 with Changeling. Zombie Army, that's a cool token, 0/0 there. Shapeshifter, 2/2 with Changeling, 2/2 zombie this time. And a Zombie Warrior, 4/4 with Vigilance. 2/2 zombie and Zombie Warrior with Vigilance. Another zombie and a zombie 2/2 with Decayed. Another 2/2 zombie and another 2/2 with Decayed. Then Parts of the Turn and Popular Magic formats. Okay, so this deck looks really fun, especially if you like the zombie theme. Lots of graveyard synergies, pumping up zombies, and all sorts of interactions with your opponents. So let me know in the comments what you think about this one. I would not recommend picking it up for the inflated price. Retail is $44.99 US, so that is much more reasonable. And stay tuned, we'll get stuck into the other Aetherdrift Commander deck shortly. And if you've missed any of the Aetherdrift videos on the channel, I'll pop a link in the corner to the complete playlist. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. Thanks for watching and have a great day.